Right, welcome grade 12. So, you know what? While we make it maths, yeah, this is a video memo series, so jump around to the bits that you need. Each video is doing its own question. So if you want question 2, skip this video, head to the next one. Or if you just want little bits of this, then yeah, jump to the bits that you want. And remember that all these answers from here are on our website. So you can, if you just want to look at the answers and not bother with the videos, go for it. This is grade 11 revision that we're looking at. So we've got all these formulae. These two at the bottom are the two new ones we're going to look at this year. And remember, this one that you did last year is not on the formula sheet. But, you know, when we get to it, I don't know, you'll see that it's easy enough to remember, I think. So revision of grade 11. Let's go through first example. So we've got an investment of 100,000 Rand that's increasing to 150,000 Rand over a period of 5 years. And I'm just kind of highlighting things as I go. May or may not be useful. Calculate the nominal interest rate per annum. Okay, so nominal is what we're looking for. If the interest is compounded quarterly. So there are bits of the puzzle that we need. I mean, all that we're looking at, I'm just going to copy paste it here, is that we've got our kind of formula, compound interest growth. That's what we know happens if we invest money or invest anything, but we're focusing on finance mathematics, of course, or should I
say finance mathematics?
Yeah, okay, so fun aside, let's just plug in the bits of the equation we know. So our principal amount, we're investing 100,000 Rand. It's growing to 150,000 Rand. It's happening over 5 years, and that's all we've got. Of course, got to have a Bailey reference. And our interest rate, well, that's the bit that we don't know, but we know everything else in the equation. So we're going to sub in all the bits we know. We'll be left with one thing we don't know, and we'll get there. So let's fill it in. 150,000 Rand will equal, well, this is the joy of the colors, right? We invested 100,000 Rand, and we went 1 plus. Now, our interest rate, we don't know, but our interest rate is compounded quarterly. So we're going to divide it by 4. So our interest rate, our interest nominal is that. And therefore, for our N, we're going these two things combined, 5 years, happening 4 times every year, 20 times, 20 compounding periods. So there's our equation. Now we're just going to solve from there. So, you know, whichever bits, you might solve this slightly differently to the way I'm about to do it. That's fine. You might do it in one go. You might do it in a few more goes. Let's throw up our calculator and see here. I'm just going to do this kind of sort of step by step. 150,000 divided by 100,000. Now, of course, you could have just gone 150 over 100 because like the thousands. But there we go. We've got 3 over 2, or I'm just going to write that as, that's fine, I haven't used 1 comma 5. So far that equals 1 plus I over 4 to the 20. Now, we want to slowly but surely get ourselves towards I. So we're going to take the 20th root of each side. So therefore, where's that judo? I think it's here. Shift that one, the 20th root of what we had before. So hints and tips, use the answer instead of rewriting 1.5. Just use answer and it'll get you there. Okay, that's 1 plus I over 4. So we need to subtract 1, and that's I over 4. So if we multiply that by 4, we get I equals 0,0819 blah, blah, blah. And therefore, if we want our interest rate as a percentage, remember we're just multiplying that by 100. So that's what we're going to get is 8,19. 8,19. Now, part B. Hence, calculate the effective annual interest rate. So I'm going to do this over here. Maybe it'll fit, and then we've got everything all on the screen together. So remember, this is the bit that's not on the formula sheet. So kind of going, well, how do we remember this? Well, for me, it always just makes me think of the right-hand side of this equation, that 1 plus I, or sometimes if we've got I over n to the n, then that's kind of our formula. So the right-hand side almost looks like what we just had. I nominal is what we just worked out to be 8,19 or 0,0819. Oof, just squeeze it in. And that was over 4 to the 4. So it's almost like you're going quarterly for a year, which is 4 compounding periods. That's 1 plus I. So therefore, if you punch all of that into your calculator and subtract 1, then we're good to go. Now, I always think ideally you use this figure here because of all the no rounding off, or you can use your rounded off error, your rounded off value. So either way, 1 plus here 0,0819. So it would have been easier if we just used the aunts from before, but I'm just going to show that part because this is going to change something in the last decimal place, which doesn't really matter. And subtract 1, and we get 0,08 blah blah blah. And I'm just going to straight up multiply this by 100 and say this is 8,44, and the next one's 4, so 8,44%. So this is our effective interest rate, and this one here was our nominal, but the context tells us what we're dealing with. So that was part B, that was part A, and that's that. So enjoy. I'll see you in the next video for some more making of math.